Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH, BA'Shem YAHAWASHI, BA'Shem RAKAKWADASH. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to my Akim, YAHAWAH, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawako coming at you with another lesson. Hold on one moment. Let me get this one thing before I forget. Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So today's lesson comes from a realization that I had, where it's like, have you ever honestly heard of a good leader or a good government that actually takes care of its people? And the one thing that comes to my mind in regards to that is because funnily enough, and this was an Israelite, but funnily enough, this comes from me watching a bunch of George Lopez when I was younger, and the Cuban guy basically always complaining about Fidel Castro. So Fidel Castro is, and I'm not saying that, okay, well, there is a righteous ruler now, but I'm just saying in a sense of like, when has there ever been a leader or whatever that actually takes care and actually wants to have their people, being taken care of, and not just take advantage of them or use them as just tools and whatnot, or as slaves, better yet. All right, let me also get this. Well, no. So continuing on with the whole Fidel Castro thing, the stuff about that, as a matter of fact, let me also get this. How many? I don't know why they don't just give me a number. Okay, so 634 assassination schemes or attempts on Fidel Castro. Okay, so yeah, basically anyway, the thing about this is that the thing that I am kind of like that I guess the thing that kind of like makes me want to talk about him is the fact that you have or more specifically him, that is the good thing, or the good things about him, where it says Fidel, as most Cubans refer to him, was a hero to some and a region's worst tyrant to others. He was a source of great pride and gratitude for those who felt indebted to him for their education, health, and peaceful way of life, yet a source of great pain and anger for those whose lives were shattered by arbitrary incarceration, family separation, and lack of freedoms under his regime. Now, the thing is, apparently he pushed, I'm trying to find the thing for specifically. He pushed for socialism rather than capitalism. And the thing is that, before I actually get into defining what those two are, but the thing is that I think Esau and America in general, they are heavily against anyone that chooses to not practice capitalism, because I think that was a big thing, that was a big contributing factor to the whole Cold War stuff. Because with that, I think I forgot which country it was. It's been a really long time since I studied in this, because I think I remember studying this in like middle school or whatever. But basically the thing was that I heard that any country that did not adopt capitalism, like America, was just like, well, we don't fuck with you. We wanna fight you just for no reason or whatnot, because you guys don't practice our same things and stuff like that. So as a result of that, they were also pushing out this whole quote unquote freedom thing, like people should be free, quote unquote, to do whatever they want, when in actuality it's really just Esau wants to indoctrinate people to take up after his beliefs and do his and to do his practice and his customs and stuff like that, rather than letting other people just do and be whatever they want. And to go back into capitalism and socialism, I'm pretty sure there's a third one, but I forgot what it is. I forgot the name of it. I mean, but for capitalism, it is basically there are private owners. People own things. Like, say for example, if I own McDonald's, I own it, but I don't have to go work. Okay, well, I get the workers, and the workers are the people that are at the bottom. Okay, so there are private owners to certain companies, rather than in socialism. Okay, in socialism, it's just the workers are the ones that actually own the things. So if you are working at McDonald's, it's the workers there that are in charge of said McDonald's. You don't have to answer to some higher up or anything like that. All right. So as a result of that, it is this capitalism. The capitalism system is basically made to thrive only if there are people at the bottom that aren't able to have their own businesses. All right, which that's the reality of it. And initially, obviously, while I was learning about this type of stuff, I was obviously a child and I didn't know better. So I was thinking like, oh yeah, these other people, they're so mean. Like, why are they doing this? Why aren't they? And that is that indoctrination thing, which I've said multiple times. I hate schools in general. Obviously, there are some positives to having to going to school and stuff like that, but I think that ultimately there's a very sinister intent to schools. So that's why it's very important that you are very selective about which school you send your kids to. But that is a different topic for another day. But going back into the whole capitalism socialism thing, basically, so as let's say a McDonald's is making $1 million a year. All right, the actual workers of said McDonald's, all right, they're only ever seeing like 100,000 of it to split amongst themselves, while the owner gets to pocket the rest. That's basically how capitalism is kind of going. Obviously, there are some details I might be leaving out or I might not be fully aware of, but this is the general idea of how capitalism works. Okay, because this is the general idea of how the general concept of how capitalism works. Because obviously there's a leader in this stuff, and the leader is basically saying, okay, well, I decide how the funds are being managed, and that's what minimum wage is for, in terms of like, okay, well, you have to give them this, and you have to give them like what, $20 an hour or something like that, just as an example. And people are getting paid minimum wage rather than proper livable wages. All right, and then as a result of that, also not too many hours as well. They're not getting paid good hours, and as a result of that, we are in this economic inflation type shit, and people in general are suffering as a result of it. So yeah, I think, and Saki, that's another thing where I think a lot of people today are starting to realize that capitalism is not a good thing, and I say that because of how politically aware so many people, even people that I would deem are just dumb or NPCs or just born for nothing or whatever, people that are even people like that are able to come to that realization. Okay, I think people like people that watch freaking Hassan Abi, all right, not Hassan as in from formerly from Sakari, but Hassan Abi, who's a political Twitch streamer, all right, who basically talks about all that political stuff where he just regurgitates and says a whole bunch of stuff. I think people that watch him, I think they are, for the most part, like, they're just political. They are still they're less politically aware than he is, and it's just in a matter of like, people, they don't care, but they acknowledge that there is a problem, and they hear certain phrases and certain things, and this, that, and the third, one by one pieces and stuff like that, where they're able to understand, okay, capitalism bad, X, Y, and Z good, and stuff like that. Or maybe they don't even know about socialism. Maybe they will. What is the other one? I think it's communism. Absence of private property and social classes, ultimately money and the state. Communists often seek a voluntary state of self-governance, but disagree on the means to this end. What the fuck? All property is publicly owned, and each person works and is paid according to their ability and needs. Okay, that's, I mean, I guess, but obviously, even with communism and oh yeah, that was what it was. It was communism. That was the thing. But even with socialism and communism, may potentially sounding better than capitalism, I still say that none of these systems would probably be, I guess, ideal, because there's always an opportunity to abuse and misuse these systems when it comes to not even just Esau, but anyone. All right, anyone can really abuse their systems, abuse these systems. But slacky about that. Let's get back to these things, because this is not some sort of freaking political video or political channel or anything like that. This is just trying to point out something that I just felt like it's this society and the system that we are running in. This is how we know that. This is how you know that this world is wicked, and this is how you know that the world is run by the wicked. Because even whenever you get people that actively want to do better for themselves or their people or their people and whatnot, maybe people that say, oh, I really want things to be good, I really want to help people, I really want to do this, I really want a peaceful thing where X, Y, and Z and whatnot. You have all these people with altruistic values. Altruistic, the belief in or practice of disinterested and selfish concern for the well-being of others. Some may choose to work with vulnerable elderly people out of altruism. So you see, if you didn't know the word, now you know. Basically, altruistic people. Some people have some altruistic views or beliefs, and they want to do things just for the sake that, oh yeah, it is good, I really want to do good, I really want to help and whatnot. But the thing is, Slocky, but the thing is the fact that it never comes to pass. It never actually works out. Why? Because at the end of the day, Esau is the one that has control. Esau is the one that keeps on fucking things up for not just Babylon, but for any other place. Okay, like he's always going to get in the way. There was even, what's it called? What is those people's names? The Palestinians. They were saying, "Why the fuck are you over here? We don't want you over here. Why are you guys coming over here to bother us? Why are you guys, involving yourself?" Or I think maybe that was Iraq. I think that was in Iraq. But whatever. The main thing is that people say that these people are always getting other people's businesses just so that they can go in and take advantage of the make chaos, take advantage of the chaos and abuse. Because I heard Okay, fuck it. Let me just stop. Let me not go too far. But basically, I've heard lots of different crazy things. There was a as a matter of fact, I'll speak on this one where in Japan, funnily enough, there was a base. There was a military base in Japan, American military base in Japan, and there was this little girl. I think she was less than 13 or something, or 13, if not less than 13, that was basically kidnapped, raped, and killed by the military dudes that was stationed over there. So then they protest. I think that this happened early in January this year, and the Japanese, they got outraged and they were protesting. They were saying to get them out of there. I don't know if they're still there, but that was basically what had happened. Where, again, as I said before, it all goes back to Esau Edom, where he has the control over stuff, and he's the one that's manipulating things and abusing his powers. It's like abusing his power in doing all this stuff, and it is pretty it's, in all honesty, it's pretty depressing to hear that type of stuff, because you have people that do want to be better, that do want to do better, that want things to get better, but Esau won't let it, because Esau still just wants to abuse and misuse and take advantage of his position and his power. Okay, and even with what's it called, that dude Gandhi, what's his name, that peace guy or whatever the fuck his name, Gandhi. Yeah, he died. All right, and he was all about peace and stuff like that. Oh wow, assassinated. Yeah. All right. Who killed? Okay, well, it doesn't look like it was Esau, but maybe it was. You never know. Maybe it was because Esau has no issues with putting hits out on people and stuff like that. So I'm not. I'll say for now, maybe it's not him, but at the same time, you can never put it past Esau to do stuff like that. All right, but yeah, basically. But yeah, basically, that's just how Esau basically gets down, where he doesn't want people to thrive on their own. Even with Israelites, with the whole Black Wall Street stuff, we weren't able to thrive on our own. He had to get in the way. It's like he had to get in the way, and he had to get in the way in order to basically mess things up, ruin things, bomb us, destroy all of our stuff, and now then we're back to being reliant on Esau for everything. We need him for food. We need him for all of our needs. Okay, all of our stuff. Okay, and we cannot live on our own. All right, and that was a part of the curses. Let me get that. Deuteronomy 28. Work. Let me see. Oh, here. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 30. Thou shalt betroth the wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant the vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. So basically, over here in this verse, where it says, betroth the wife, build a house, and make a vineyard. Okay, it basically is in reference to any gains that we have, anything that we get. All right, we're not going to be able to reap the benefits of it. Reap the benefits of it. And funnily enough, this freaking sounds exactly like capitalism. All right, funnily enough, I didn't even recognize that. Okay, so in capitalism, yeah, you are a worker and someone else basically owns all the stuff. All right, where you're doing all the labor, and then you do the labor. That's, let's say it's equivalent to $100 an hour, and then you're only gonna get what, $10 an hour or $20, whatever freaking wage you're getting. Let's just say whatever wage you're getting, it's actually worth more. All right, it's in regards to all the in regards to all the wealth that you actually make for a company. All right, but you don't actually see most of that. All the work that you do for a company, you don't get paid in correspondence to the work that you did. You're getting paid less. All right, suck it. And so that's why it is very at the end of the day, wicked to have this capitalism. And again, as I said before, it's not just me that's coming to this thing. I didn't even get inspired. I had to get inspired from another lesson, as a matter of fact, to do the, not a lesson, but another video, as a matter of fact, to do this lesson, where I heard that, yeah, this is how this whole capitalism system is working, where someone was basically talking about how capitalism sucks and this, that, and the third. And that's what made me remember to talk about this, remember to kind of point this out now. All right, so yeah, this is the wrong thing. As a matter of fact, let me also get these three things before I forget. It's, fuck, I forgot the first one. It was a ruling. Oh yeah, okay. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Okay, so people are mourning, people are suffering. Okay, people are poor, all right, in poverty, impoverished, all right, from the wicked rulership of Esau, Edom, as we went back to Job 39 verse 24. And you don't think that just because you don't live in America, okay, that you're not gonna have to deal with that type of stuff. Doesn't matter if you live in India, Australia, whatever. Esau still has his influence reaching out far and wide to everywhere. If not, freaking, he's coming to your door to basically fuck up your government. Now, next, Psalm chapter 27 verse 14. Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen thine heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. All right, and this is just in reference to, we want things to be better. We hope and pray that things improve, but the thing is that ultimately there's nothing that we can do. Okay, it doesn't matter how much we try. If we what's it called? Because this was another thing that it very much so pissed me off when I heard it. There was some people that was talking about, we need to play Esau's game in order to best Esau. We need to do this and or blah blah. And it's like, and I hated it. It was from some old fucking, what's her name? It was not her name, but it was some old Jake bitch. That's basically all about this whole we need to be just like him, in terms of like we need to follow after that type of mindset, blah blah blah, where it's like you clearly see how that's not getting us anywhere. Following after Esau's rules and his thing, even when we do it, we still get screwed over because he doesn't play by his own rules. He breaks his own rules. He cheats. He ruins things for us to the point where it is an impossible game that is plainly meant for us to constantly lose. So why? So it's like you have all this hope. You even with knowing that he is our enemy, you still have Jake that has hope and who thinks highly of Esau, even when he constantly tries to ruin our lives, our livelihoods, our lives, and stuff like that. It just doesn't make any sense to constantly have trust in his system. All right, which I'm not saying, even though I say that, I'm not saying to go fight Esau, go pick up the guns, because what did Yahawashi say in Matthew? I pray that Matthew comes up. Yes, Matthew chapter 26 verse 52. Then said Yahawashi unto him, put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. So Yahawashi was basically telling one of his disciples that had a sword with him not to use the sword, not to fight by the sword. And what another thing is Matthew chapter 10 verse 16. Behold, I sent you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So he doesn't want us, going on fighting anyone, but at the same time, if you have to defend yourself, then obviously there's no issue in that, of course. But at the same time, it's just like you have to understand that we're not supposed to be going around killing people, attacking people, hurting people, or wanting people or wanting people dead. All right, or we can want people dead, but we can't go attacking people. All right, so that's basically the thing where we go back. If we're going back, let's go back to Psalms chapter I think it was 27. Wait on the Lord. Okay, that's basically what the Lord said, to wait on him, for him to deliver you out of your time of trouble, out of your struggles, out of this wicked, unfair, evil captivity. That's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be waiting for him to help us out in our hardship. All right. Now next, Daniel chapter 7 verse 14. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Okay, so they basically, to end it off, at the end of the day, okay, the kingdom that we are looking for is the kingdom where Yahawashi is going to be on the top. He's going to be ruling, and it's not going to be. As a matter of fact, let me go back to Proverbs. Where is it? Proverbs chapter 29 verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, people rejoice. Where there's going to be people that are going to be rejoicing at Yahawashi being at the top. They're going to be rejoicing that, oh wow, Yahawashi is, he's ruling, he's making things right, he's improving our situation and whatnot. He's making things good and proper and better. He's like things. Life is literally manageable. It's salvageable. It's doable and all that stuff. Like, we're not suffering. We're not struggling and all that stuff compared to life in Esau's reign and in his rule. All right. So yeah, basically that's where there's that big divide, that big what's it called, controversy, if you want to call it that, where people think that this is it. Where, so that's another thing. You have so many Jakes that think that this is it. All right. Even Christians, they don't really. It's like a coin toss, 50-50, for them to actively realize and acknowledge, like, okay, the Lord is gonna come and he's going to make things better, or it's like we're just gonna keep on living this life. I love my life. I have a white picket fence and all this stuff like that. I have my own house. I have this, that, and the third, and whatever. All right, like this. That's the type of like life that they are content with, rather than having Yahawashi return and being able to give up this world, I guess, if you want to call it that, give up this world of wickedness. All right. And people, because the thing is that people are too attached to the worldly things, rather than being able to just say, okay, you know what, for the sake of Yahawashi making things better, I can give this up. So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. Look forward to Yahawashi's kingdom when he rules properly. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawadah, Shai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, Abad, Rabal, and Shalom.